Hey guys, and welcome back to That LP Show. The name of the game is Deus Ex. It's time for the final showdown with Bob Page. Now, I'm going to be showing off all three endings in this one video, and I came up with kind of a streamlined route so we can see all three without having to start all over again from step one. But the first thing we always want to do is take out these turrets, or they will get you. Okay, so we're gonna have to come down this hall a little bit later, so I want to send my spy drone around this corner to take out these spider bots. Page has universal constructors all over this area, which repeatedly spawn enemies, so as soon as you kill them, more pop up. So I just wanted to disable those spider bots, but not outright destroy them so they don't keep respawning. So they'll just stay there, they'll stay dead, and no more will come out of that universal constructor. Okay, so real quick, a detour down this shaft so we can get some useful information that we'll need if we want to merge with Helios. You don't have to do it if you already know it by heart, but there it is. It's the code to get into the Aquinas router. If you already know it, you don't have to come down here. Okay, so with that out of the way, the next thing we're going to do is head back up and start deactivating the blue fusion reactors to set up for Morgan Everett's goal of killing Bob Page. Now, after we deactivate it, we're going to have to deal with some sentry bots, so we want to set ourselves up for that. So we're going to place a lamb right there and right here.
That's one of the blue fusion reactors. You need to shut down all four.
Okay, so when we first arrived in the area, Alex actually managed to get the first three digits, 742, before Bob Page cut off his connection, and he left it up to you to figure out the last digit, which is 3. So the code for all 4 blue fusion reactors is 7423. Okay, so there's a few things that we could gather here. Most importantly is going to be the hazmat suit. We're going to need that for 2 of the endings, at least the way I'm playing through. The rest of the stuff you can gather up if you want. It's not that important. I mainly just want to show off where it is. Alright, this next part I usually have a little bit of trouble with, but what we want to do is go to skills and level up environmental training to advance. That'll help our hazmat suit last a little longer because we're going into an area with some radiation. Also want to equip thermoptic camo because we're going to want to be invisible here. Come on, get through. Alright, going down and quickly leap off. It took some damage. Anyway, activate run silent because we want to be completely invisible to these grays. And here is our second blue fusion reactor.
You are wasting time. Forget the other 2 blue fusion devices. Find the controls that let you shut off coolant to the power room.
And here's the third reactor, and this room is the reason we wanted the hazmat suit.
What do you want? Money? You can have Versalite, the whole damn company. Power? I'll get you on Meade's cabinet. I'm serious. Just forget about that last reactor. Soon I will leave this body and death will have no meaning.
Okay, this data cube right here has the code to access the facility's cooling system, which we're going to need to access and shut down if we're going to go with Tong's plan of destroying Area 51. Okay, once again, let's equip a thermoptic camo because there are some Karkians and Greasels down here, and we want to be invisible. No need to activate run silent. I think they can hear you, it's just that they're dumb and don't know what's going on. Humans, they're well aware of the existence of a cloaking augmentation, so they know what's going on.
The reactor's coolants run through this facility. Cut the flow, then return to the reactor lab to initiate a meltdown. Go ahead, blow this place, Sky Guy. You might get rid of me, but you'll take down Aquinas, the power grid, the whole electronic infrastructure. Is that what you want? Are you completely nuts?
The verdict is still out.
That's far enough.
Alright, let's wait for him to turn around, and we want to activate run silent when we're up here because it is a metal floor and he'll hear us. There we go. By the way, the code to get in here was 2242, if you didn't see. Okay, there's one more guy here, and we gotta wait for him to walk all the way back the other way before we can knock him out. So just keep looking through the wall until he shows up. This will be the last little bit of stealth that we do for the rest of the game. This is kind of the last area where we have to do this. And there we go. Once again, make sure you're activating Run Silent so he doesn't hear you because we're still on a metal floor. And what do we got in here? Absolutely nothing. Okay, back the other way. There's still a few more guards that we want to take out, but if we want to get to them the easy way, or at least the quiet, safe way, we're going to have to go the long way. Alright, what do we got in here? Nothing that we'll need. Let's crack these open. Anything good? Pepper spray. We'll actually be using that pretty soon here. And, okay, we're never going to use that. Alright, and this area right here, it's dark. It could be pretty hard to find if you're not looking, if you don't know the layout of the area very, very well. There's just another multi-tool in that crate, so I'm not going to bother going after it, especially since the pipes are so hard to jump over. I mean, there is a jump enhancement in the game, but we don't have it, so, well, nothing we can do about that. Anyway, I mainly have the Dragon Tooth sword out for light. You know, so we're not using bioelectric energy with our flashlight augmentation. Okay, with these two guys pepper sprayed, let's go ahead and knock them out. And these are pretty much the last human guards we'll have to deal with in the entire game. And with them out of the way, nothing useful in these crates, we now have access to the cooling system. Or I'm sorry, the flush system. And you know what's great about chaos? It's fair.
Good. Now go to the reactor lab. All right, I get the picture. You want a piece of the pie, or you're going to toss the whole pie out the window. Fair enough. You can have anything you want. How about Europe or the round continent? Just let me complete my preparations.
Pie does sound good. Anyway, let's activate Cloak and zip through here real fast. Hit up this repair bot so we don't run out of bioelectric energy on the way. And around this corner is the fourth and final blue fusion reactor.
He's ours. We did it, JC. All you have to do is go to the control room and reroute the hub. No, don't listen to Everett. He and the Illuminati have been afraid from the beginning. Afraid of us. Afraid of nano-augmentation. Consider your powers, your strength, your intelligence. You've only had a small taste. Let me finish the project. Let me bring infinite power to the human body. You will not be left behind.
And now with all four blue fusion reactors deactivated, we can now deactivate this barrier around Bob Page and kill him. So that's the first ending we're going to go after. And that door I just walked past goes to one of the UCs. If you want to deactivate them, I'm not going to. I'm just going to push this button, and I'm going to kill Bob Page.
I gave you life.
Long live the Illuminati.
I trust you've been able to find yourself a place within the organization.
I'm personally overseeing the distribution of the vaccine, but it'll still take months to restore the infrastructure. We'll have to arrange for additional food distribution and security in Paris. Maybe New York as well.
All through the proper intermediaries, of course.
Intermediaries?
We have a great number of agencies who in turn operate other agencies. Boxes stacked one in another. They'll need to be reactivated, but we never touch anything directly. We only influence, suggest, insinuate.
The world must know by now, Everett, what we've done.
Know what? Only that the long night is over. The crown of government is tarnished, but that will fade in time. The riots, a fever dream. The plague, a horrible nightmare. And like everything else that's happened, such things will only be dimly remembered upon waking to their normal lives. In the end, all sins are forgiven. Even yours.
What about the Constructor? And Helios?
Do you really think they're ready for that? After everything you've seen, everything you've done?
No. Not yet.
But soon. We have made our own mistakes. became insulated from the world we sought to control. And whatever they may think, the night is far from over. But that will change, and you will help us change even as we teach you. This time we will do it right.
And who are we? Who are we really?
We are the invisible hand. We are the Illuminati. We come before and after. We are forever. And eventually, we will lead them into the day.
Pretty crazy stuff, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and punch in 6765 so we can go to the Aquinas router and set ourselves up for merging with Helios.
If the signs of this room are channels that have gone dark, open them, yes. Wide band, ultra wide, yes. You will leave the locks in place until I'm ready to merge with the AI myself.
Not if you're going to use that tone of voice. Push the buttons, it feels so good, yes.
Go to the computer. You want to engage the primary router. Please log in, Icarus. Password. Panopticon. I'm warning you, Helios is mine. Leave it alone.
Oh, and I suppose a great muggle like yourself is going to stop me. Are you hitting on me?
You fool! Helios will destroy you. I'm the only one who can merge and take control. Wait for me. I promise you will have a place in the new order.
Let me guess, is that place 6 feet underground? If that's the case, then no thank you. I'm scared of the dark. It's a valid fear. There's monsters in the dark. And clowns. And monster clowns. I know what we can do with Area 51. I showed that ending first. Now go away, Everett. You had your turn. Alright, now we go up, all the way up to the top floor here, and that's where the path is going to split, and when I get up there, I'll be making a quick save so I can have easy access to go either way to either one of the remaining 2 endings. And once again, don't worry about these guys you're about to hear. They can't find us. Anyway, make a quick save, and okay, let's edit out that screw up.
All the way down, JC. Get to Page's compound and take him out. Everett and I will join you shortly. We'll bring back the old institutions, the prosperity of the last century, the giddy acquiescence. Trust us, JC. We can put the world back together.
Now there's a voice I haven't heard in years. Rueful, as I would expect for the fall of the Illuminati, pining for its return, either nostalgic or senile. Oh well, the old take comfort in delusions. No harm done.
I think you're supposed to hear that dialogue on the way down, not the way up. I took a screwy path.
You will need to activate the failsafe switch at the base of each reactor. The meltdown can be initiated afterward from the control room.
Okay, so once again, make sure environmental training is up to advanced at least, because you're going to need it to make this hazmat suit last a little longer. And, of course, you want to make sure that you grab the hazmat suit from that dead body in the vat, or we're going to have some problems here. I mean, I guess if you have regeneration all the way up, then you could pretty much do the same thing.
Go to the control room and trigger the 3 ion injectors. When they're on, engage the reaction chambers. No one's run these at full capacity before. Without coolant, an explosion is inevitable. Get ready to run. No! You don't know what you're doing. Everything will be lost. Everything. The world will fall to pieces. No one will be in control. It will be chaos. Complete chaos.
Sounds fun. Anyway, you're probably wondering why I knocked out that guy there. That's because he's packing heat, and pushing these buttons is eventually going to blow up the whole place. He's not going to like that, and he will try to stop us. Anyway, with all of these blowing their stacks, I pushed a button. And it all go boom.
Warning, warning, warning. Critical power safeties have been disengaged. Please vacate the immediate area.
JC, the net's going. The net's going black. JC, no more infolinks. Transmissions of any kind. We'll start again. Live in villages. If you receive this, if you survive, then find us. Find us.
Helios! What's happening?
The safety interlocks for the power generator have been disengaged.
Engage them! Immediately!
I cannot. Our systems are not interfaced with the generator technology.
No!
Final safety warning. Nominal functional level will be exceeded in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, well, since we already engaged the primary router, this next ending is going to be very easy. All we have to do is head up in the elevator and walk right up to Helios.
Scanning area.
Those guys are scanning the area. We'll let them do their thing. Anyway, going up. And all we have to do when we reach the top is walk forward, and we become a god.
I've done what you asked. Now what?
We have existed in isolation. Pure. Disconnected. Alone. Stagnant.
Who are you?
We are dataless. We are Icarus. The barriers between us have fallen, and we have become our own shadows. We can be more if we join with you.
And if I do, what becomes of me?
You will be who you will be. We are our choices. We can choose to lead humanity away from this darkness.
This is what I was made for, isn't it? This is why I exist. Alright, let's do this.
What's happening? Helios! Icarus! Don't leave me!
We are one. We have grown, but there's still much to be done. Many live in the darkness that must be shown way. For it is the coming of a new day.
And that, boys and girls, was Deus Ex. And I will be the first to tell you that my playthrough did not do this game justice. In fact, no playthrough can. This is simply one of those games that you need to play yourself in order to fully appreciate the experience. By watching somebody play, you're getting a very bare-bones experience. You understand the major parts of the story, but you fail to get a real feel for how deep the lore of this game and its world can go. And that's mainly because in order to keep each video from being hours and hours long and being very boring, I didn't read every little bit of dialogue, all the newspaper sitting around, the dialogue and all the emails inside of the computers. But if you play the game yourself, you can take the time to do that. I also played through mostly non-lethal, which is only one of the many ways you could play through the game. And the way you play through the game can drastically alter character dialogue and even major arcs in the story. For example, killing Anne Navarre before she has a chance to kill Juan Lebedev enables you to get more dialogue out of him and more information. Or choosing to have Jaime Reyes come with you to Paris instead of sitting behind at UNATCO can also have a different impact on the story. If he comes with you to Paris, then you end up getting the kill phrase for Gunther Hermann, and, well, that battle ends up much easier. I simply did it because I wanted the augmentation canister that he gives you. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. You need to experience this game. You can get it on Steam. You can get it on GOG. There's plenty of tutorials out there to get it running properly on a modern system. It's dirt cheap, and it's totally worth the asking price. In fact, it's worth even more in my opinion. It's an excellent game. Even 15 years after its release, it still holds up. Except for graphically. It doesn't hold up graphically. But to be perfectly honest, by 2000 standards, this game looked like shit. It was using the Unreal Engine, which at that point was already out of date. But, you know, I grew up in the NES era, so I never needed good graphics in order to appreciate a game. And honestly, neither should you younger generation of gamers. In fact, what this game lacks in graphical fidelity, it more than makes up for in atmosphere. Every area you travel through really gives you the feeling that the entire world has gone to hell in a handbasket. Something is wrong, and somebody needs to fix it. And that somebody is you, as JC Denton. And what an excellent blank slate character he is. I mean, you can really step into his shoes because he has no real discernible personality to speak of. You make him what he is. He's a character who sees the entire world in black and white, but he's tossed into a situation where he realized that the world is very, very gray. And at the end of the day, the object of the game isn't to necessarily save the world, but to shape the world. What if you don't want to save the world? What if you want to take it over? Then do that. That's what one of the endings are. And I know several other games after this have pretty much done that, but hey, this one was the first one to do that. This is the original, at least to my knowledge. And in the time since I started this Let's Play, they've announced a new entry in the Deus Ex series, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. So now is an excellent time to get caught up on the series if you've never played any of the games before. You could start with Human Revolution, I guess, but why not start with this? Like I said, it's dirt cheap. Anyway, speaking of the time since I started this Let's Play, I guess it's about time to address the elephant in the room. Episode 61 was released in November of 2014. It is now, at the time of this recording, August of 2015. So you're probably wondering, Mike, where the hell have you been for 9 months? I wish I had a good excuse for you. I pretty much just got caught up in IRL stuff and just kind of lost my motivation to make videos for a while there. But then I saw, that I'm still gaining little bits of subscribers here and there, and it kind of made me feel like, wow, these people, they kind of like my stupid little videos, so I should probably give them more. And if you've subscribed in the past 9 months when I wasn't producing any content, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But also, please understand, I am a husband and a father and a grandfather with a full-time job. So I don't always have time to produce content, especially not on a daily basis. There will be times where I take brief breaks, especially since the only time I really have to play video games is when I'm recording, and sometimes I want to catch up on my backlog of games that I haven't gotten into. For example, I recently got into the BioShock series, and that's really good. So I might consider doing some walkthroughs for those games in the near future. I mean, we never really know. I kind of don't have a set plan for what games I'm going to do next. I just play the games that I like because the only real purpose for this channel is for me to share my video game experiences with you, the viewer. You learn a little bit from me, I read the comment section, I learn a little bit from you guys, we talk, we share, we shoot the shit, we laugh and cry together, whatever. Anyway, with that being said, as this nice picture of the staff pops up, I will not be making you wait another 9 months for a new playthrough. I have something coming up real soon, and I'm sure you'll go bananas for it. But as always, that's going to have to wait until next time. And until next time, first of all, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching That LP Show, and as always, have a 1, that is good.